Hello, welcome to White Birch Tarot and Astrology. Pardon my croaky voice. Bizarre weather here. This is a video about the total solar eclipse in Virgo, which occurs on Tuesday, March 3rd at 6:33 a.m. That's in the eastern U.S. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do one video with the astrology and timestamp the cards. I've already pulled the cards, just pulled them, or if I'm going to separate them. We'll see how long this goes. I'm having Mercury retrograde in Pisces issues, and I forgot to put the R here, but here's Mercury in Pisces, and he's retrograde, excuse me, and oh my God, I'll just say that, oh my God. Now I'm getting shadows all over. Oh well. I just had to print this out to show you. Look at this lineup. Now, I've included 2 asteroids, which I normally don't do. And I keep forgetting which one's which. So I have to look at my notes because, okay, this is Vesta, from which we get Vestal Virgin. She's the goddess energy that is the hearth fire, the heart of the home. And this is Pallas Athena, wisdom and objectivity. So anyway, so we have, I just had to show you this. Look at this lineup here. This is astounding. So we go from 26 degrees of Aquarius to 26 degrees of Pisces. So there's, 30 degrees essentially. Look at this. And then right there we have Neptune and Saturn. So, oh, I didn't write in Chiron. That's at 24 degrees. So we have these outliers. We have Uranus, Jupiter, here's the moon, and then there's Black Moon Lilith. But look at this. So here's our moon in Virgo. All of this basically is opposite her. Not exactly, but the moon, and who did I say that was? Now, why do I keep getting them mixed up? Pallas Athena. The moon and Pallas Athena are exactly, they're at 12 degrees. They're exactly opposite the moon, of course, because we have a full moon, hence the full moon. Solar eclipse. No, it's not a solar eclipse. It's a lunar. I'm sorry. I am seriously suffering from this Mercury retrograde in Pisces. I mean, like, big time. It's just, okay. That's why I took notes on this. I thought you're not going to remember what you're talking about. So this is called a stellium because we have a huge group over here. And so I'm just going to, I wrote some things down because I knew I would, there's just a lot. Okay, so the planets here, the sun and essentially Mars here, are both conjunct the north nodes in Pisces. I didn't write in the south nodes. Well, they're at 8 degrees of Virgo. So the south nodes are conjunct. I'm disgusted with myself. Here we go. I have to put them in. They're important because I'm going to talk about them a lot. Okay. So all these planets in Pisces, which are basically asking us to, lots of things, to trust, to have faith, trust the process, not the details. There's a letting go here of Virgo energy, which is perfectionistic and detail-oriented. Let me just read what I've written because I think I hope I explained it well. So the planets in Pisces conjuncting the north node and opposite the moon ask us to trust the process rather than the details. And remember that the north node represents our path forward, not our destination, but our path. So it's the way in which we get to our destination. So it's not the goal, but it is the way in which we get there. So this is something about how do we get where we want to go? How do we fulfill our dreams? I have to take a new path here because the old one ain't working, okay? So when all this is in Pisces, especially the north nodes, the way or the path has to do with believing in something larger than ourselves, feeling like a part of the collective, and trusting our intuition rather than our logic. But having said that, then I have to point out that, here she is, that the sun is conjunct Pallas Athena, and she represents logic and wisdom and sort of taking, a broader perspective, like stepping back. So there's that too. So you don't throw logic out the window. but there's a way in which we can use it creatively in Pisces, a way in which we can trust it, and not put our intuition on a leash exactly, but it's a combination of wisdom and intuition, okay, if that makes any sense. So the moon in Virgo wants to be in control on an emotional level, because the moon represents our emotions and old emotional patterns, and so we could ask ourselves, like, where are we stuck in the details emotionally? And where in our lives can't we see the forest for the trees? We're focusing on how rather than what when we're stuck here with the South Node. We're like, but I don't see, how am I going to get all that done? I don't see the way forward. Well, no, you don't, but you got a lot of energy over here telling you that you should have some faith, because there is a path forward, even though you don't see it right now. This can feel kind of overwhelming, because it's like all this is over here, and here's our little emotional selves, like, oh, I'm all alone. It can feel unstructured and chaotic because it's in Pisces. It takes a tremendous amount of faith to let go of so many different areas of our lives, our thinking, our relationships, you know, even our sense of self and purpose, our desire, you know, our sense of what's home, how do I protect my family and my loved ones, my literal home maybe. Let's see. So, with Mercury retrograde here, even our thoughts and our minds can feel unreliable. Where's Mercury right here? So you can feel overwhelmed emotionally, and perhaps even like it's you against the world, and it is kind of, but it isn't, because this is telling us to have faith in something bigger than us. So what it's asking us to do is to step back a little bit from our busy daily lives and have a broader perspective, a more unified perspective, because Pisces is about our dreams and what we really truly want. So this is asking us it's saying, where are you putting your energy? That I'm not phrasing this correctly. It's asking us if where we're putting our energy in the long run is feeding our dreams, or are we just being busy and trying to control details? Are we doing what we think we have to do, what we need to do, or are we doing what we want to do? That's another good question. And there's a lot here about trust and vulnerability. Pisces energy asks us to trust, like I already said, something larger than ourselves. But the moon in Virgo wants to protect our inner flame. And remember, I've said before that Virgo represents the virgin, but not sexually chaste. That's not what it means. It's the part of ourselves that we keep just to ourselves, that we really don't share with anyone. It's like our inner freedom and where we're independent, and where we just refuse to be ruled by anything that doesn't serve our inner self or our deepest desire, or whatever, your real self. So that's a good thing, to protect that. But you don't want to take it too far, because then you build a wall and you don't let other people in. And this is telling us that even supporting our inner flame, it requires other people. We generally can't do things in isolation. And she's like, I'm going to stick with this even if I'm, being eclipsed with the earth moving between the sun and the moon. So I forgot to look up where you can see it in the world. You'll have to look that up, because I forgot to. So we have more support than we realize, because Pisces is, oneness. It's the oneness that runs through everything. And but it feels kind of paradoxical, because with the moon, the full moon in Virgo, again, there's that little piece of us that we just will not let it be compromised, our inner flame or whatever. We're like, okay, I know I need to be part of the collective, I need to serve and all that. And Virgo's all about serving, but she wants to just keep that little, that little piece of independence. And that's okay. Just don't, you don't want to be compromised, but don't take it too far. Virgo rules our intestines and our nervous system, so you might need to try to find some time to relax. And as I said, let go of any perfectionistic tendencies. So as always, practice self-compassion and be gentle with yourself. And then I wanted to talk briefly about, and also with the moon here in Virgo, you know, this is the South Node, which is the area that we're really familiar with, the energy, I should say, that we're really familiar with. When it's in Virgo, it's like, okay, you've tried to control emotionally yourself and maybe others around you by, you know, if I just act perfect, if I just do everything right, people will love me. You know, I have to get this right. I have to serve everyone. And this is saying that's outdated now. We're moving over here now. Now you get to move toward your dreams. Now remember, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. Let's be creative. Let's feel the oneness that runs through everything. Let's use our imaginations, and let's have some trust and some faith. I know, but that's what Pisces is all about. So Mars is conjunct Vesta, even though they're in different signs, because she's at 26 degrees of Aquarius and Mars is at 0 degrees of Pisces. So they're not exactly on the same wavelength, but they are together. So as I said, she's the ruler of the hearth, the heart of the home. So there's a lot of feminine energy here that wants to protect what it loves, and that's a good thing. And Pisces is also feminine energy. So there's a lot here about taking care of ourselves, as I said. But we need to trust our intuition and our dreams, because when we do that, we're in service to ourselves when we listen to our intuition and, you know, what we really want. And Mars is all about desire and where we're putting our physical energy and our spiritual energy. So this is about, you know, what do we want? We have a real desire to move forward when we're so close, when Mars is so close to the North Node. But again, with all this water energy, it's not a clear path. It's not a clear path. It's gonna take some trust and some faith. So, let's see. And Venus moves into Aries, just looking ahead here on the 7th, and then on the 11th of, what month are we in? March, Jupiter finally goes direct, yay! And on the 13th, let's see, then on the 13th, Mars conjuncts the North Node. Where is he? Here he is. Sorry, I'm jumping all around the place, but just want to tell you there's a lot of stuff coming up. So we're being asked basically to let go of having to know how all the details are going to work out, and we're supposed to move toward our dreams anyway. Don't keep trying to create the perfect path. Just move in the direction of your dreams and the path will appear. There's a lot of potential here. And I put the analogy, it's like kind of like that feeling if you're standing on a beach and you feel the water going back out. If you ever stood in a wave and it goes back out to the sea, and then it takes some of the sand from your feet underneath you with it, and it feels kind of disorienting. But remember that when it goes out, it, you know, that's a sign the next wave will have to come in. And remember, Pisces represents unconditional love. It's all-encompassing, and all you need to do to receive it is be open to it, and also you can be a channel for it. Okay, and there's much more here, but we've talked about Saturn and Neptune a lot. So that's been 13 minutes. I think I'm going to post this and then do the card reading so it doesn't get so long. So I will do that, and I will post it, and I will talk to you later. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And if you would leave me a comment, I'm always interested in your comments. And thank you so much for listening. Blessings, everyone. Good night.